Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with your latest Fantasy Alarm Underdog Battle Royal here. Monday Night Hoops over on Underdog Fantasy. They have their $5 contest with an $8,000 first place prize. Go through today's draft board here. Got a draft about to start in 10 seconds. And lucky me, I've dropped the number one overall pick here today. If you haven't yet checked out the Battle Royal drafts over at Underdog Fantasy, it's a new style of DFS. If you're tired of the old salary cap drafts you get over on DraftKings, over on FanDuel, go over to Underdog Fantasy. Go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Use promo code ALARM. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100 with your first deposit. And check out these 6-round snake drafts, 30 seconds a pick. I'm on the clock here. And, of course, we're going to take Giannis Antetokounmpo here in this matchup against the Indiana Pacers. A massive game total. And Giannis has absolutely destroyed the Pacers this season, even had a 65 actual point game against them just a few weeks back here. So we're going to rock Giannis here, number one overall. A pretty good slate of games, some top-end plays here. The Luka Doncic pick is going to be pretty interesting. Not that we don't think Luka is elite, but we could have the return of Kyrie Irving here today for the Dallas Mavericks in their matchup here today. The Toronto Raptors are expected to have both RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly available to them today. So we'll be very interested to see what the lineup for the Raptors will look like here today. Giannis, Jokic, Doncic, Halliburton, Mitchell going top five here. We're on the swing pick. Kevin Durant's your ADP 6 play right now. Scotty Barnes, ADP 7. Albert Şengün, however, leads Barnes. They are going with the 7th overall pick. Again, guys, these drafts go quick. You can do a few of them throughout the day. Usually you get them done in about 5 minutes or so, depending on how quickly everybody uses their 30-second pick clock here, as we are right now, and going around into the second round. Again, 6 rounds, 6 picks. What I like about these underdog drafts is if somebody ends up being ruled out, you don't have to worry about eating a zero. They'll automatically swap in the next highest projected player, or you can set your own replacement list here as well. So if you like a certain amount of guys that you think could fill in for a questionable play, you can put them at the top of your list and get them thrown into your lineup here. We're coming up on me. Pick 11's on the board now. We have the swing pick, 12 and 13. I'm going to go with Jarrett Allen. He's been an absolute monster. 3 straight games of over 50 fantasy points, including each of the last 2 with Donovan Mitchell on the team. So we're going to go with Allen here in his spot. And then we're going to go out and let's go Fred VanVleet. VanVleet without Jabari Smith and Dylan Brooks on the floor has a ridiculous usage rate and fantasy point per minute output. Houston home against Detroit here this evening, liking FVV's potential upside, coming off 50 fantasy points for himself. So we go Giannis, Allen, VanVleet. Following my picks, Damian Lillard, James Harden. We did see Kawhi Leonard practice on Sunday, so there is a chance that he'll be back for the Clippers here tonight. Terry Rozier is an interesting pick. He was a midday downgrade to questionable tonight against the Denver Nuggets. There's a chance that Terry Rozier does not play this evening. If that ends up being the case, the person who took him in the 4th pick in the 3rd round will have an automatic replacement put in his spot there. A risky place for the 3rd round, obviously, knowing what could end up being just a replacement player there. But obviously, we know Rozier, some pretty nice upside lately. No Gordon Hayward here tonight. Obviously, they're still without LaMelo Ball. Pascal Siakam, Jamal Murray, Tyler Hero all go next. I like that Hero pick a lot. Even with Jimmy Butler back and though Butler eventually left, we still got 40-plus fantasy points out of Hero in that last matchup. Siakam and Scotty Barnes, I think, are still pretty safe, even though we don't know what that Toronto rotation is going to look like. You know, at least those 2 players are going to be locked into big-time minutes here. Lauri Markkanen coming off a bit of a down game last time out, but good matchup for him against Dallas here tonight. You look at that Dallas front court. Derek Lively, it could be Derek Jones Jr. maybe at the power forward if Kyrie Irving is back. A good spot for Markkanen there. I'm up back on the clock here. Interesting spot. We're going to go with Chris Middleton. Again, I want some exposure and as much exposure as possible to this game with the Pacers. High game total. Middleton had double-doubles in his last 2 outings. So all of that feeling pretty good here And then on the swing pick, let's see, where could we go? It looks like Anthony Simons has already been ruled out. Malcolm Brogdon's been unbelievable lately. So let's go Malcolm Brogdon here in round 5 against Phoenix. Playing a bunch of minutes, scoring a bunch of points, over 40 fantasy points in the last 2 games for Malcolm Brogdon with Anthony Simons. Could get Shaedon Sharpe here back today, but still, Brogdon's really going to be leading that offense in Portland tonight against the Phoenix Suns. So far, Giannis, Allen, Van Vliet, Middleton, Brogdon for me, top 5 picks. Miles Turner and Kawhi Leonard follow me. Again, Kawhi Leonard, questionable to play tonight. Miles Bridges, again, a pretty interesting spot here for Johnny as he takes Rozier and Miles Bridges. Obviously, Bridges playing really well in his own right, but could get a bump here in value if Rozier is officially ruled out tonight. So, interesting spot. Maybe even sort of making up for the Rozier pick there with Bridges, knowing that Bridges is probably more likely a 3rd round pick if Rozier is to be ruled out than a 5th round pick if Rozier was ruled in. So good spot for Bridges there. Jeremy Granson playing really well. We'll have a tough matchup tonight against Kevin Durant. The Kyrie Irving pick is a great upside play there at the end of round 5 if he is in the lineup, knowing what his potential could be. I don't know if there'd be any limitations. He has missed a lot of time, but something to watch for there as well. Ivica Zubac, kind of an interesting pick there too, because both Plumlee and Kawhi Leonard could be back soon. If Plumlee re-enters that lineup in that rotation, Zubac could see some minutes cut. Scoot Henderson, some big time play lately again with no Anthony Simons. Brook Lopez, Michael Porter Jr., and I'm on the clock to end out the show here. Let's see. Let's go with Jalen Green here. Jalen Green went for 40 fantasy points the other day here as well. Of course, Detroit, obviously a little worried to see if they can keep that game competitive or not, but no Dylan Brooks, no Jabari Smith. It's actually Jalen Green with a ridiculous 38% usage rate that leads the team with those guys off the floor. So from the 1 seed, we got Giannis, Allen, Van Vliet, Middleton, Brogdon, and Jalen Green. A little bit of a Houston stack, a Milwaukee stack, and a couple of one-off nice high upside plays. Again, these are your Underdog Fantasy Battle Royal drafts. You can find them over at Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't already signed up, you can use that QR code there on the screen or go to fantasyalarm.com/underdog. Use promo code ALARM, get a 100% deposit match up to $100. This draft got done in less than 10 minutes just to show you how easy and simple it is over at Underdog Fantasy. Good luck today in those Battle Royal streets, everybody. We'll talk to you later.